This use of informants was necessary because we are no stranger to threats of violence. In 1983, our offices were firebombed, and in the years since, there have been countless credible threats against our staff. For decades, we engaged in unprecedented litigation to dismantle the Klan and other hate groups. In light of that work, we sought to protect the safety of our staff and the public.
The now indicted Southern Poverty Law Center claiming that they gave money to Klan members and white supremacists because they were facing threats. Meanwhile, they put conservative groups like Turning Point USA on their list of hate groups.
Understand that they're literally putting high school chapters of ours on a hate group next to the KKK and next to neo-Nazi groups. And I mean, we can laugh this off. There's an element to this. Remember that there was a shooter that went to the Family Research Council years ago, inspired by the SPLC list. This is them trying to make us basically surrender at Turning Point USA. We're going to do the opposite, and our students are only going to lean in even more. But they can't debate us on our ideas. They cannot have dialogue. They cannot actually go onto the merits of why they are right or why we might be wrong. Instead, they must smear us with the age-old one-liner that you are a racist or that you are a hater, and they're finally realizing the power of Turning Point USA, which is why they put us on this list.
Well, when you're effective, you're a threat.
And a long list of big-name companies and individuals even donated to the Southern Poverty Law Center. George and Amal Clooney, Apple's Tim Cook, they each gave $1 million. J.P. Morgan Chase gave $500,000. They aren't accused of any wrongdoing, but the numbers show that donations nearly tripled to more than $133 million that year. Let's welcome to the show podcast host Katie Miller. Great to have you with us and to get your comment on this, because Southern Poverty Law Center referenced a firebombing from the 80s as an example of a current threat against their staff. Given what we know now, does any of this make sense to you?
I can't help but watch that clip of Charlie Kirk and not get a chill up my spine, because the SPLC listed Charlie on their website as well. And look what happened to Charlie Kirk, who was murdered in cold blood. You know, when you think about the fact that the SPLC is a criminal organization and now designated one as by the indictment in the DOJ, you know, you can't help but see the fact that I would like their financial advisor to do my finances. How do you explode in fundraising that much while conducting the biggest psyop on the American people, which is paying for the organizations that you're saying you're combating?
Yeah.
We were told white supremacy was the greatest existential threat to humanity, when in reality, they were the ones funding the KKK. When you look at the fact that George Soros Open Society Foundation or Apple or, you know, Amal and George Clooney were funding the SPLC to the tune of over $1 million. Every single dollar that they gave, it's going to the KKK.
It's wild.
You can't get more hypocritical than that. And today, just as I was walking in here to do this, you look at Wikipedia, who is one of their most trusted websites? It's still the SPLC.
Yeah.
It just goes to show you what's being fed to the American public is not organic, and nor is it something that you'd want your children to read. Why is it that the internet and Wikipedia and Google and all these other major corporations are still pushing the SPLC? What do they have against conservatives?
It's a valid question, and I want to take it one step further. Just bear with me here, because according to the indictment from the Department of Justice, one source identified as F-37 was part of an online leadership chat group that planned the 2017 Unite the Right event. So it reads, quote, F-37 was a member of the online leadership chat group that planned the 2017 Unite the Right event in Charlottesville, Virginia, and attended the event at the direction of the SPLC. F-37 made racist postings under the supervision of the SPLC and helped coordinate transportation to the event for several attendees. So between 2015 and 2023, the SPLC secretly paid F-37 more than $270,000. And I remind you that both Biden and Kamala ran on what happened in Charlottesville. Remember this? Watch.
I ran for president in 2020 because of what I saw in Charlottesville in August of 2017. Extremists coming out of the woods, carrying torches, their veins bulging. Their veins bulging.
Veins bulging.
Bulging. Veins.
Let's remember Charlottesville, where there was a mob of people carrying tiki torches, spewing anti-Semitic hate. And what did the president then at the time say? There were fine people on each side.
So not only was the fine people a media hoax, but the whole rally was a hoax.
We now know that there was fine people on only one side, and that's not the side that SPLC was funding. You know, when you look at what Biden has said and why he decided to run, you can't help but think that every conspiracy theory is no longer conspiracy theory because they all come out to be true, especially when you look at what happened in Charlottesville. All the left does is figure out how to demonize the right and demonize conservatives and incite violence against conservatives because that's all that they want. You look at it from the rhetoric of Susan Rice or the rhetoric of Kamala Harris or the rhetoric of Gavin Newsom. It's despicable, and it's funded by the very people funding their campaigns.
And now they're being exposed and an indictment on the table as well. Katie Miller, thank you so much.